FNX. What
Yeah,
was that other one? BOS 92.9.
I don't
For
remember
some
it,
reason,
but I just know they went by at that time. I think K Rock or something along those
okay,
lines, and
okay,
it was just a station that I was on in Boston. I wish I remembered the exact call sign. I don't,
sure.
but
But you
anyway,
have it right, Patrick. I mean, Break Me Down came out on our full length Breaking Me Down in 2012. And we still play that song in our set today. Everyone loves it. So
yeah, no, that's and that's what stuck out to my head. But then I started looking at the catalog and what you guys have done since. And man, talk about that journey a little bit about how it's progressed since then and what you're doing now.
That was a long journey. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff. I mean, we've toured, we've done radio campaigns with several different songs, and we've gone all over the place. Did one offs in different places, and just tried to spread the word about Silent Season, and now we're back at it trying to do it with a new single, and hoping that this time around we can really turn some heads and do this thing.
Well, I mean, that melodic metal sound is so full and so rich, and I know that you're really excited about this new song. It's a little more aggressive, a little harder maybe than before. Talk to me a little bit about how that song came together.
It came along at a time where like I was kind of like my whole world was imploding, and I was just like thinking like how can I write a song about like everything just basically going up in flames. And that was pretty much the inspiration for a lot of it. It was just kind of a lot of me like writing lyrics to songs and us writing whatever. It like comes from life experiences and trying to, it's almost like a therapeutic way of getting over it, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. A cathartic
um
release, if you will.
exactly.
Yeah. So when you guys do, put a song together, is it something where, you jam yourselves into a room somewhere and you go, we're not leaving till a song is done? Or do you, somebody come in with something and you just kind of each begin to layer? How does that work?
I feel like for this particular song, it was more of a layer kind of thing. We changed our approach a little bit of how we did songwriting in the past, but there are songs where we come together and we all write as a group, and then there's also like songs where like someone will bring something to the table and be like, hey, like check this out, and then we'll kind of like layer upon it.
No, that's great. Now, coming up, let's say, when you were super young kids, whenever you first discovered music, did all of you just first find rock, or were there other genres that before you became rock that you were into it when you were young? How did you get into music?
Go around the table. Dave, you first.
yeah, sure. Great question. I started right out of the gate with some rock music. I come from a musical family. My father was in a band back in the '70s, playing around the times with the Cars and Aerosmith,
Yeah.
and my cousin was heavily in bands too, and that all sort of got me influenced to start listening to rock bands. And I think my first something on I'm trying to think anything on tape. I'm not trying to go too far back, but I had the double wide Smashing Pumpkins CD that was given to me during a holiday, and then also the President of America. What's that song?
President of the United States of America.
Yeah, the Peach song.
Yeah,
that
I know
was
the one you're talking about.
that was
Jane.
another CD. So those were
Yeah.
kind of like my gateways during around the grunge era in the '90s and the whole Nirvana movement and everything. And then from there, everything got progressively into that harder sound. And the sky was the limit from there. Like I loved everything after that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all genres. I can listen to jazz, I can listen to pop.
Sure.
That influenced me, but that kind of style of rock really got me interested into this whole thing.
Okay. How about yourself, man?
For me, it was a weird weird transition into music. My mom, who I grew up with solely as a single parent, she played a lot of Motown stuff and a lot of like R&B, and so I started to do boys chorus from there. And then growing up, like in my teens, I started to listen to a lot of like punk rock kind of stuff. And then I feel like the more I aged or whatever, the heavier the music got, and so then I just kind of started to listening to like hard rock stuff and metal, and like Seven Dust kind of stuff,
Sure.
whatever. And yeah, and then that pretty much stuck, I think.
Interesting though that there was some R&B, informed some of your singing style before you really stepped into the rock world, and kind of gave you a little more range there.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like having an eclectic taste of music, or an eclectic, background of music, definitely, it definitely shapes you in a way,
Hmm.
and definitely helps you in some ways too, I feel like.
Yeah, it's always fascinating to me. I've probably interviewed some of the greatest metal bands in the world, and you ask every one of them, and they'll take you and say, "What are you listening to right now?" And you'll be shocked. Most people are shocked to find out that metalheads don't just listen to metal. They listen to all kinds of stuff, and it's really fascinating how much that rock has become textured by so many different things now, including, metal. You look back at Saliva and all of these different bands that came in around that grunge era and right before that you're talking about. And man, it just really revolutionized and opened up the door for rock to incorporate so many different sounds that are more interesting and better than ever, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And Patrick, I feel like we're seeing this revolution again with well, I don't want to mention the band yet. We haven't announced it yet. We're going to be playing with a band that's on Octane, but there's a lot going on with some bands that are infusing this hard sound along with the country as
Yes.
background and bringing it to the center, and it's really cool. It's a really cool way of approaching rock in a different format again, and kind of going about like a new style
Man,
in a
let me.
sense.
I just had in the studio a couple weeks ago a band that is exactly what you're talking about. And if
Mm.
you haven't checked them out, Google them. John Bailey and the Heathen Revival is the name of the
I,
band.
I've heard this band, yes.
Man, they're exactly what you're talking about. They are a metal influenced country band. I guess you'd call it country, but it's rock with a little country and kind of all metal all together. And
Yeah.
you're right, that is the real hot fusion that's happening right now. We talk about it a lot. How that at one point, when I was host of the morning show here on the Edge, and we were the number one rock station, number one show, and when we were billboarding, the most mainstream act we had was like Avenged Sevenfold,
Yeah.
and that's super hard, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it got so aggressive that it began to impact mainstream rock, and so now finally we've kind of circled back around where we're beginning to incorporate all these other sounds and infusions and textures into music, and I think it's way more interesting, you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's definitely a lot of incorporations of music these days. A lot of also like rap and like I don't know, like trap kind of things going
absolutely.
on as well.
There absolutely is. You're seeing a lot of that out there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic because, hip hop probably has some of the most unique sounds and usage of sounds incorporated into music of anybody. And when you kind of layer that in, with the metal and with the vocals and all that, it's a fascinating combination. I like all genres of music, and I like Migos, but just because they make me laugh. They make me laugh with their ad libs. Anybody who can yell "Mama," I mean that's funny to me. I don't know why. It just is, and I get down to that. You know, I wish my grandma could see me. I mean, who says that shit? I don't know. Migos do, you know?
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, I just, I love to see that bands like yourself who, have been had such a storied career are still evolving their sound and still growing with the sounds of today because it's so, critical to the genre staying relevant is to expand the way that you guys are expanding your horizons, you know? Are you
Thank you.
seeing, I see that you're getting, some pretty good traction on this single. I mean, how are things going with you on that?
Um, it's going great. It's really exciting. The single's been doing really well for us. With the support of our distribution company at Earth Program. Shout out to those guys, and then the different teams that we're working with. You might have heard recently we were on Sirius XM Octane
Yes.
75. We got some feature there, which was excellent, and it was also on Music Choice Rock Channel, which is picked up by Xfinity Network. So I mean, we couldn't be any more thankful. It's so exciting to have this happen. As you had mentioned earlier, Patrick, just how far we've come as a band and how much work we put into this day in day out, and staying together. I mean, we've been a band now for about a little over 17 years this year,
Hmm.
so we've been grinding.
Well,
We've
and
been
and it's
grinding.
all glory and fun and living the high
Yeah,
life, like Motley Crue, right? I mean, that's what y'all been doing this whole time, right?
party,
Yeah,
yeah,
crashing
right.
out Lambos and partying on cruise ships. That's y'all's life, isn't it? It's the life of you guys over there at Silent Season, I'm sure, right?
We've got all our mansions and our cars
That's
lined up.
right. That's right. No, it is a grind. A lot of people don't understand. When I was coming up in stand up comedy, I had the good fortune of working with a lot of up and coming bands, and and working with those guys, you come to find out that stand up comedy and being in a band's a lot alike. It's a lot of lonely nights in a hotel room, a lot of getting your stuff and moving to the next place, and just hoping that they might like you, download something, listen to something, and you just keep doing it over and over and over. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, being on stage is amazing. It's just, the 23 other hours you got to live life and deal with everything else.
Our own business, music, everything. You gotta be your own best. Whatever to push yourself out there, promotion wise, the business, the music. You got to do it all as an independent artist.
Being a band for 16 years and, looking at everything that's changed with the internet and the business and the models and everything that's going on, how have you managed to stay a cohesive unit and keep being inspired to push yourself to that next level?
I think being a musician is a drive in itself. I think that a lot of people probably have given up by the time they reached our point. But I feel like we've also like you said, we've learned to evolve. Like our stuff now is very much different from when we started, as far as like, tunes and stuff like that. And I feel like like you just have to. I feel like I personally listen to a lot of different bands, like as soon as they start to come out or whatever. Like I listen to the latest thing and I'm like, how can Silent Season fit into that pocket? And I feel like that's my drive. Is I love to like create and stuff like that. And I feel like we all do in a way. Like we all love to be creators and to try to still fill that gap, and to try to we know we have something to offer. We know that everything that we've done has led us to this point, so it would just be a shame to just give it up for nothing at this point, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, you put in all that work, you should get the spoils of it. So, you're talking about some of the maybe modern bands that you're always listening to new music. What's, a more recent band that's come out that you're like, man, man, that sound is awesome to me.
Oh man. For me, I think that
Architects.
Architects is they come out with great stuff. What I'm trying to, my mind is completely Memphis Mayfire.
Oh yeah.
I I love Memphis Mayfire. I love everything they've been doing as of like right now. Like that's the sound that I strive for. Um, it's incredible.
I, I have
They're
a,
probably my favorite band right now.
they're really, really great. One of the guys from Memphis Mayfire is a friend of one of my rock and roll friends named Luke Shoemaker. And Luke is part of a band called Bandage Ruins. And he's been working with, uh, is it, man, why am I drawing a blank? Is it Jason? Is that right, from Memphis Mayfire?
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
I think it's Jason, but he's been writing with him, and he just had a track that that hit over 1 million views on YouTube. So yeah, but I love the Memphis Mayfire sound. I love everything about the way they're doing things too. I think that is a great band over there for sure, man, for sure. Who else did
Yeah,
you say? The Architects?
Architects is another one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Architects.
Architects. What are they? I don't know them. What are they about?
Look, are they
This
English?
very heavy. Yeah, they're from the UK.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're from UK. Yeah.
Okay. A UK
Yeah,
band. Yeah.
they're very heavy.
I need to check them out. I hadn't heard of them yet, so I need to go check their tunes
They're-
out for sure.
They were actually on some of the tour dates with Metallica too.
Really? Oh wow. Okay, that's
All
awesome.
these
Man.
all these guys know that I'm a big Metallica guy.
But you love Metallica? Yeah, man. I mean, it's hard not to like them. You know, I remember I was a kid in the '80s, and when Metallica, you know, we were all still listening to Def Leppard and the Crew and all that. I mean, it was all good, you know. But when Metallica dropped, man, it was a different sound altogether, you know. And man, we really, I mean, people went nuts for it, you know. And of course, they've continued to be one of the greatest of all time. But yeah, that man, Lightning, all those things, man, that shit was amazing in the day. You know, I mean, we were
yeah.
living history and didn't know it. You know.
I'm gonna go with
Mhm.
for new bands. I'm going with Fame on Fire, Wage War,
Wage War's great.
Rain City Drive. Those are some bands I'm really been feeling. Just like it's kind of like that whole Octane,
Yeah,
you know,
that
genre, right?
yeah.
That's where I get a lot of my new music outside of the internet is really Octane. I let them tell me what I should be listening to.
Is that they seem to have their finger on the pulse of a lot of good ones. That's for damn sure. You know.
Yeah. What do you got, Joe?
Well, I got say Architect. Been listening to some band called The Novelist. I think they're from France or something.
Okay.
Some girl singer, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's just about it, really.
What genre are they? Are they a heavy hard rock genre?
Man, you know what they sound like? It sounds like Lady Gaga going rock with a bunch of dudes playing like.
Now that's
heavy
interesting.
stuff.
See, that's
Yeah, and then it
interesting
has
to
some
me.
some dance stuff in there too. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, that's great. That kind of reminds me of, you know, Rob Zombie, how he, you know, infused some really good, almost hip hop style beats into those songs in that era, and it was really a different vibe, you know. So I love when you have that, you know, almost pop counter contrast to the metal vibe is a real interesting swing, you know. I love that. So, you know, where are you going next? What's the next big thing to conquer for you guys?
You know, I think we want to play, you know, some more shows. We want to grab a tour maybe. We're working on new music right now. As this one is already, you know, out, whatever. It's really all of the above. We're trying to just, you know, just do it all. I mean, because you really have to, otherwise, you know,
Well,
you're not doing enough.
right. Well, I'll tell you this. You might reach out to here in Little Rock, the Rev Room or Sticky Fingers. They're both owned by the same people. Chris and Suzanne King are their names, and they book a lot of amazing shows here. We also have a venue called the Hall, which is a bigger venue if you wanted to do a much bigger crowd than that. But I know that this market, even though people often think of Arkansas as a bunch of you know, toothless, shoeless hicks that run around going yuck and drinking moonshine or some shit like that, you know. But Little Rock in the metropolitan area is pretty cool, and we have a real big contingent of metal fans here who would love to see you guys come here and perform. And if you do, get a ticket here, put together a show here, we'll certainly jump in and help promote any way we can, because we'd love to have you down here. Think it'd be great.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Patrick. That's a great idea. And let me tell you, we're no stranger to getting in the van and driving out to one show across the country and coming back. We did that for an Aberdeen, South Dakota show, so it's in us. We've done it before.
Well, I would certainly be, more than happy to help connect you to anybody here locally and help you put together a ticket that made sense to you, maybe get you a supporting band or something like that, whatever you might need, and help you find a venue or connect you to the venue here, because I think you'd have a real great showing here. And I think a lot of people would be sure excited to see you.
We would love that and appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Well, yeah. Hey, if you want to do something with that, then, let's just connect online as we have, and I can pass you some information whenever you're ready, and be glad to facilitate anything possible to help you guys out.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
Man, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Tell everybody before you go, what's the easiest way? Listen, I got to get me some of this Silent Season. Where the hell do I go get it at? Where do I need to look?
Well, we do have a main website, silentseasonmusic.com, with all our socials connected to it. But we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that, or X, and TikTok is back. We are
That's
on
right.
TikTok.
That's right. It's
after
back
like
again,
10 hours,
baby.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. People
Rock
lost their
on.
minds for about 8 hours, lighting shit on
I-
fire, all kinds of stuff, man. It was crazy.
I even created a video and I posted it on there with all our links on it, saying, thanks for following us. We didn't quite go viral, but we gained new fans, and you can check out all our links.
Yeah.
And people checked it out. We actually did get a couple new followers. I
Well,
saw.
That's
is
great.
cool. So,
That's great.
but
man.
yeah, we're all over the place. You can get our music on pretty much any digital service provider. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes.
Yeah.
Our motto is go get the music, go do whatever you got to do to support the band. Check out our online store, and keep in touch. Follow us and message us. We'll reply. We talk to everyone. So
Well, let's see if we can move the sticks a little bit here in Arkansas, and maybe you'll see a little movement there on the site and go, hey, you know what? We picked up some new subscribers there. Maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe they can operate a computer and know that we're coming and actually show up, So we'll try to send you some
I'm
folks.
telling you, we'll rock it out. We'll bring it, and I'd love to be there. I haven't been to that area.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot cooler than people think it might be. So, we'll put one in the air, have a little bit of fun, make some music, be good times, man. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Drink some moonshine.
There, hey, we can nip on it if you want to now. We can make it happen, but you got to be careful. I've seen some people go wrong on that real fast, man. I've seen comedians take a few shots and can't do their set anymore. And this is Arkansas, man. They make it's pure here. It ain't the stuff you're gonna buy in a store up there wherever you are shopping. It's different, man.
it's legit, right?
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Silent Season, and listen, go get their music, silentseasonmusic.com, or hell, Google them, bitches. They're out there. Go find them. Thank you guys so
Right
much.
on.
I appreciate
And
y'all.
Patrick,
Yes, sir.
And Patrick, I was just gonna say, hopefully, we apologize. It took a little bit to get onto the show. We appreciate you having us
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And we promise when we're talking about creating or booking a show, it will happen instantaneous. We'll make it happen and get out there.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome, man. I'd love to work with you and help you do that. So thank you guys for taking time to talk to us, and we'll try to get you some new subscribers, baby.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, y'all have a good one now.
Patrick, thank you, everyone.
Rock on, baby. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you so much.
Patrick,
Yeah,
thank
you.
Thank you for your time and thanks for your patience.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Can't wait to post about this